I would not have found out about this unless one of my subs and my Twitter followers for that matter did not retweet this onto my page, and also through Tariq as well, because he got a hold of it and he had some choice words as well, and mine's kind of follows or falls right into the same category as to what he said. Now, this is the first time I'm ever making a video talking about Tarana Burke specifically. I've always had my very personal opinions about Me Too over the course of the year, and they've never been good. Like, I've never had one good thing to say about Me Too, and that's with good reason. So there is this tweet that's going around, and actually the way that this tweet even came about, and I'm looking at the thread, it started out with Cardi B going back and forth with Tommy Lauren. Tommy Lauren said something to Cardi B, and then Cardi B clapped back at her, and then Tarana Burke responded it, and she had her choice words about it. Then somebody responded to Tarana Burke and was like, "Oh, well, I wish you would have this same kind of response and everything like that when it comes to how Me Too goes after, inherently, it seems to go after black men in a way that it doesn't go after white men." I can't remember exactly what the tweet said, but it was in that context. And this is what Tarana Burke responded with. She said, "And again, answer me this. When should black men be held accountable for their predatory behavior?" And she wrote that in all caps. I'm telling you, the way somebody either says something or the way that they type something always indicates the emotion as to which express. She typed this in all caps with a question mark and an exclamation point, which means if she was in front of this person, she would probably yell it to their face. Then she said, "And why is it my job," and she put it "my" in all caps as well, "to go after white men? Since when is standing up for black women and girls anti-black?" Well, Tarana, it's funny you've been around with the whole Me Too thing for quite some time as far as you are concerned. Now, a lot of people are starting to question, when did Me Too actually really come out? Are you really the founder, or did they just put you down as the face to be the deflector? Now, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. The only reason I know Tarana's been around with this whole Me Too thing for a while is because I actually saw somewhere on a show that BET airs, and I think it's called Black Girls Rock, in which she got honored with something, and she was talking about Me Too, and this was back maybe in the late 2000s. Like, we're talking about around the time Obama had just become president for the first term. That's the only reason I knew that whole Me Too thing took shape. And the thing is, a lot of people didn't know that because it wasn't public knowledge until then. And I wouldn't have believed it then unless I saw pictures, and the pictures I saw, I was like, okay, then maybe she was around with this. But it doesn't change the fact that it was definitely hijacked and turned to something much more sinister. And she's running along with it, and you can tell that she is just by looking at this tweet. Now, also, Tarana, with that being said, in 2013, there was a man by the name of Daniel Holtzclaw, also known to me as Dirty Dick Danny, who was going around as a police officer in Oklahoma, raping women, 13 to be exact, with the youngest being a minor, all of them black. Where in the hell was Me Too then when that was going on is the question. Where were you then? That was actually a perfect opportunity for Me Too to really come and rise to the occasion with that particular case. But we didn't know what in the world Me Too was then until 2 years ago with Harvey Weinstein. So my question to you is, who were you talking to when all of this was going on? It looks to me that you were looking for fame from the very beginning. It didn't matter that those 13 women did not were violated, that their bodies were violated by that creep who's now in jail, thank God, for 200 something odd years. You were just looking for a come up the whole time. That story wasn't juicy enough for you because Daniel Holtzclaw wasn't a celebrity. He wasn't a mogul. That right there would have actually made you look a little bit more legit and organic, but now this whole thing makes you appear fake. And you know what people saying about you is correct. You do look like KRS-One. Yeah, I finally said it. I always laughed at it, but I never actually came out and said it. But yeah, you do look like KRS-One. But this right here is messed up because it's like you're literally turning a blind eye. Now it shows right here. This tweet shows right here without a shadow of a doubt that you are only going after black men, just like many of us had already put into our heads because it was so blatantly obvious. Let me read to you again. And again, answer me this. When should black men be held accountable for their predatory behavior? We're always held accountable. Even when we're even when we're innocent, we're still wrong. In the eyes of this establishment, in the eyes of public opinion, and apparently in the eyes of you and people like yourself. She said, and why is it my job to go after? And notice that she put "go after" in quotations. Because the name of the organization is called Me Too, which means it should be spread across the board, not just focused in on black men or honed in on black men. Since when is standing up for black women and girls anti-black? We didn't say that you standing up for black girls and black women was being anti-black. But I have another question for you, Tarana, since we want to break it down by gender. When are you going to stand up for black boys who are molested by, say, I don't know, black women? Because quiet as it's kept, there are black boys that are molested in the community too. I'll give you an example. R. Kelly and his brother, Casey Kelly, was molested by their sister when they were kids. But you're not going to talk about that. But yes, there are little black boys who are just like characters like in the movie Antwone Fisher, which was based on a true story. But they are too afraid to come out because they're afraid their manhood will be bullied, or people will talk bad about them. Oh, you should have just you should have enjoyed it, or you should have just pushed it away, or you should have just dusted it off. Now talk about that, Tarana. This right here is exactly right. Tariq came up with the first them movement, and I hope it eclipses the hell out of that Me Too crap once and for all. I hope that in 2019, if I had to rub a lamp and a genie popped out of it and I was granted 3 wishes, my first wish will be for Me Too to go away, like that of the dinosaur and the damn dodo bird. Because for the last 2 years, Me Too has been a thorn in everybody's side. Quiet as it's kept. It's ran its course. It's done. It's dated. And I'm done with it. Y'all let me know what you think about this down in the comments. Like, share, subscribe. The links will be in the description. I'll talk to you in the next one.